It's been fantastic. The ladies have been absolutely first class. It was good for them to be able to get the win. You're probably sick of hearing me that I don't put as much value on the wins at this point as I do in our growth. And when we sat back and looked at it, I wasn't overly pleased with our performance. And we told the players that, but their application, their mentality, their commitment to what they're trying to do has been brilliant from the get-go, and that was displayed throughout the game. And that's what helped us get the result that we got on Friday night.
As you look back, obviously two goals scored pretty late there. What did you feel like changed for your side, or something that you can learn from in the way that you all were able to take the game over there?
I think one of the things we really pride ourselves on is making sure that we're in the game throughout. Some games will go our way, some won't go our way, but it's making sure that we're always trying to put ourselves in situations where we can compete to the very end. So there's various moments of transition within the game that I think that we excel in. A lot of that comes down to their mentality and their fitness at this point, where they're able to excel even later in the game. So I think a lot of it, the mentality of the players and probably some of the reward for the hard work that they put in throughout pre-season.
This matchup with North Carolina, it's similar in some respect to what you had with Washington, where you saw them during the Challenge Cup, and then since then they've added a key piece to the puzzle. Especially with Sam Ewis coming in. I don't know if you've heard whether she's available or what that looks like for this weekend, but just how do you feel about North Carolina as a team now that they add her?
I mean, North Carolina's probably been the best women's club team in the world for the last couple of years. They don't turn into a bad team overnight, and then you throw in Sam Ewis. They're going to be extremely challenging. It's going to be a very difficult game, and if we want to get something from that game, we need to be in our best, put in our best performance. So it's exciting. It's a challenge. It's on the road. It's different, but nothing's changed for what we will be doing. We're still focused on getting better, and it's something simple as today. The pouring rain here in Louisville, and if anything, our training got harder today. The players, they didn't shy away from it, and the tempo didn't drop, and they didn't complain about the rain. They actually turned it up a notch. So that says a lot about where the focus is at from this team as well, as we prepare for one of the best teams in the league.
Obviously, it's a small sample size, but all the goals you all have scored have been at home, and then the two shutouts on the road. Do you feel like there's anything to that? Is that something you all have discussed? Because obviously the crowds have been great at home, and the difference between the two environments.
I mean, first and foremost, our fans have been absolutely tremendous. The energy that they bring and the enthusiasm that they bring to what we're doing really spurs us on. So yeah, I'm sure that definitely does help us right through to the very end of the game. I think, we haven't changed how we attack home or away. I think maybe we've just been a little bit more comfortable at home, but I would expect us to still be a threat when we play Carolina this week and Portland the week after.
You mentioned Portland, and they obviously won this year's Challenge Cup. Then you play Houston. They won last year's Challenge Cup, and then again against North Carolina, but you get them at home. Is this about as tough a stretch of schedule as you could ask for?
Classic, right? And it's with Washington as well, the way they loaded up in the off season. So, I mean, this is the NWSL. This is the reason it's the best league in the world. You don't get to take a day off. I think the reality is that Racing Louisville was probably targeted as the team that you might get an off it weekend with, and you might be able to have a subpar performance and get some points from it. Our job is to make sure that everybody in this league is fighting to the very end. And that's whether they're playing us or we're playing Portland or North Carolina or last year's Houston. So it's definitely a tough stretch, but we're hoping that they're looking at their stretches with us as a challenge as well.
And I take it just from knowing you a little bit that you probably aren't looking too closely at the table after 2 weeks.
Nah, I mean, I guess it's like entirely seeing that thing and hearing that thing, hearing about that. I think our focus, it's nice, right? It's nice to be up there, but our focus isn't on the table right now. Our focus is on getting better. If they give out medals in week 1 or week 2, then yeah, great, we'd have a medal, but we're more focused on what this year looks like, what next year looks like, and making this a long-term sustainable team that can be impactful over the coming years rather than on the short term.
And you mentioned the intensity seemed to go up today in training. Does that speak overall to how you feel like they did respond to having some success the other night?
That was really good for us, actually. we were intrigued today that the rain came down. As you guys know, the rain was pouring down and bouncing back up off the ground, and it actually turned things up a notch to the point where we're standing in the pouring rain. I couldn't see past my nose, and the players were asking for extra sets, and that says a lot about what is going on inside this club in terms of the focus on the growth, the willingness to work hard, and the willingness to continue to grow and learn. Yeah, I was very impressed by that today, and it definitely brings a good energy to what we're trying to do, and it reassures me that we're moving in the right direction.